Welcome back to another tactical video. In this one, I'm gonna share a 4-3-3 tactics that I've been using for several teams in online divisions. I wanted to share with you so you can try it out. And I've been using these tactics with Sassuolo, with Real Madrid, with Trabzonspor, and I've been pretty successful with all teams I've used it with. Let's get into it. So, I'm gonna use Real Madrid just to show the tactics. I think most of you will play with a good team. Even though I've been successful with lower rated teams, 3.5-star teams, I think most of you is gonna play with a good team, so I just want to show you how you can set it up with a team like Real Madrid. Let's jump into the instructions right away. So we're going with counter-attack, short pass, up the middle, flexible positioning, one support range. For the defense, we're going with a frontline press, with center containment, aggressive pressuring, a 1 defensive line and a 10 compactness. Then for the advanced instructions, I have attacking fullbacks and I have swarm the box. One additional advanced instruction you could activate right here is defensive on the defensive midfielder if you need it. In this case, we have Casemiro, who's an anchor man, so he will stay back either way. But if you play with a team that has a destroyer or orchestrator or whatever defensive midfielder, you should activate defensive to have him stay back when you attack. And I think this is really important because we are doing attacking fullbacks. We're committing a lot of players upfield, so it's important to have that third player staying back alongside your center backs. So basically, we've already talked about the defensive midfielder. It's going to be important to basically be like the third defender. And that can be an anchor man, it can be basically whatever, as long as he is primarily good defensively. Doesn't matter how good offensively he is. If he is good at passing and stuff like that, that's a bonus, but he's primarily in there to balance things out. Then on the fullbacks, you will prefer to use attacking fullbacks. You can also use fullback finishers because you are attacking with flexible up the middle. So they will be able to contribute on the offense. So in this case, you could start Marcelo. He is a fullback finisher if you want to use him instead of Mendy on the left back. But overall, I don't think it matters all that much as long as it's attacking fullbacks, offensive fullbacks that will contribute to the offense. Then at the center midfield position, the right midfield, I usually want to use either a box-to-box or an orchestrator, someone who's very good at passing, who can contribute both ways. Other center midfield is going to be more attacking minded. So in this case, we have Toni Kroos as an orchestrator. So he will fall back a lot. He will roam a lot in the midfield. He won't do that many runs up forwards, right? So that's why it's important right here with Real Madrid that you have a player like Fede Valverde, who is a box-to-box. He will go up and down a little bit more than a player like Toni Kroos. What you also could do, if you have an attacking midfielder in your squad that you feel like will contribute more on the offense, for example, Isco, who is a very attacking-minded player, creative playmaker, he lacks a little bit of speed maybe, but you could do like this, and I don't think you will miss a beat. It will be very important to have that attacking-minded midfielder, but in this case for Real Madrid, I don't think it's necessary because you have Toni Kroos with the passing ability. It's a nice extra touch to put on your midfield right here. If you want to have a little bit extra attacking power, you can put on Isco. If you're playing with a team that has a whole player attacking midfield, this is where you put him. When it comes to the wingers, I really prefer to have prolific wingers in this setup. You can also go with roaming flanks, but I think prolific wingers is more effective. They will be more direct when you attack. And in this case, I'm using Hazard, I'm using Lucas Vázquez. Normally, you would probably consider Asensio one of these positions, but he is a little bit too... I think the problem with a player like Asensio, he is a creative playmaker, so he's not that direct, not that attacking minded, even though he has very good attacking skills. Personally, I think a player like Lucas Vázquez is a little bit more effective because you can use his right foot to cross it in and get those tap-ins, you can get those headers with Benzema. I think with Asensio, very left-footed, so you're pretty much forced to cut inside and shoot with him. So I think you should try to start Lucas Vazquez and try to use him. Another player you could try to use a little bit is Rodrigo, and you could also start Asensio as the AMF instead of Isco, because he is, after all, creative playmaker. He inspires low pass with 1 star, he's a very good passer, he has decent speed. I guess that this is something you can try out a little bit, but for this setup I prefer to use prolific wingers on each side of the striker, which here is Benzema. Obviously for this team you're gonna use Benzema. And the thing about Benzema, he fits perfectly in this kind of setup, because you are attacking up the middle. You will rely a lot on like a playmaking kind of striker, which Benzema is. He can pass, he can finish, he can do a lot of good stuff. He also inspires low pass, 1 star. So I think this is perfect team to use this kind of 4-3-3. But I guess you can use whatever team that has the same kind of players. If you have some good attacking fullbacks, if you have 1 anchor man, and you have a couple of box-to-box in the midfield, and 2 prolific wingers, and 1 either goal poacher or a target guy, this is gonna be a very good setup for you. Let's wrap this up. So there you have it, some quick 4-3-3 tactics for Real Madrid. I want you to try them out in online divisions. Let me know how it works out, which teams you have been trying it out with. Also, if you want to try it out offline, also let me know how it works out. I really think this is a good tactic. You know, I try a lot of different tactics with different teams. Sometimes I struggle, sometimes it works. In this case, I'm feeling that it works at another level. It really looks like it's a good tactic, especially if you have the right kind of players. So that's why I wanted to share with you. So let me know in the comments what you think about it, how it worked out for you. And thanks so much for watching. Stay safe, and I'll see you guys in the next one.